Hello everyone. How are you all? Good. Okay. So today we will be discussing about law of demand. Okay. So take out your page in your study material. The page number is 20. So here what is law of demand all about? Fine. So law of demand says other things remain constant. Quantity demanded of a commodity increases with a fall in price and diminishes when price increases. So other things remain constant means we are talking about other factors like income of a person, population. So we are not considering all those factors, considering the factors that all those factors remain constant, and whenever there will be fall in price, quantity demand will increase, and whenever there will be increase in price, quantity demand will decrease. So that is your law of demand all about. So law of demand explains the inverse relationship between, that you remember, inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay, inverse, when price will go up, quantity demand will go down, and when price will go down, quantity demand will go up. So that's why there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded according to law of demand. Okay. So what are the assumptions of the law of demand? Assumptions mean what are the factors or the points that we assume or consider, okay, in case of law of demand. The first one is the taste and preferences of the customers remain unchanged. So as we have mentioned that other things remain constant. So taste and the preferences of the customer that remain unchanged, it will not change. Then second one, there is no change in the income of the person. So we are considering that income of the person will be constant. So that is another point. Then prices of the related goods. What are the related goods that we have discussed? Complementary goods and substitute goods. So even the prices of the related goods like complementary and substitute goods will not change. Next one, consumers do not expect any change in the price of the commodity in the near future. Okay, so consumers do not expect any change in the price of the commodity. उसमें क्या होता है आपका? Okay, उसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है कि सपोज अभी मार्केट में सुनने को आया कि कल से अनियन का प्राइस 150 हो जाएगा. Now it is rupees 70. Suppose right now, today, the price of onion is 70. It has not increased. But tomorrow you have heard, okay, आपको सुनने को मिला, you have heard that tomorrow the price of onion will go up, right? Price of onion will go up, ऊपर चला जाएगा tomorrow. And today you will go to the market and you will buy. Today you will go to the market and you will buy. So what is that? You are expecting that price of goods will go up. You are expecting the price of goods will go up. तो इसीलिए आपका क्या होगा? आप जाके सामान खरीद लेंगे, अनियन खरीद लेंगे, आज ही जाके अनियन खरीद लेंगे. लेकिन आज तो कुछ बड़ा नहीं है कि नहीं? प्राइस भी नहीं बढ़ा आज, प्राइस भी नहीं कमा, वही 70 है. बट देयर इज अ फ्यूचर एक्सपेक्टेशन, फ्यूचर कल को परसों क्या होगा? बढ़ जाएगा, इसीलिए यू विल बाय. सो दैट इज हियर वी आर अज्यूमिंग दैट कंज्यूमर्स डू नॉट एक्सपेक्ट. यहाँ पे consumers are not expecting, okay, consumers do not expect any change in the price of the commodity in the near future. ठीक है? Have you all understood? Understood? So that is this point all about. So these are the assumptions of the law, that nothing will change, nothing will change. So all the factors will be unchanged, it will be remain constant, only the price will go up or price will go down, and because of that the quantity demand will go up and quantity demand will go down. So that is your law of demand all about. Am I clear to you? Okay. So these are the assumptions of the law. And now next point is, what is demand curve? Okay, so a demand curve is the graphical representation of the relationship between the price and quantity demanded of a commodity. So that is called your demand curve all about. So it is the relationship between price and quantity demanded. So let's prepare one demand schedule. So this is price, this is quantity demand. So when price is 5, demand is 10. When price will reduce, okay, to 4, the demand will increase to 20. Then when price will be 3, demand will be 30. When price will be 4, demand will be 40. When price will be, when price will be 1, demand will be 50. So this is your demand schedule. Now, when we will represent this in graph, okay? Suppose this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. In the x-axis, we will see this is your quantity demand, and in the y-axis, this is price of the commodity. Fine? And this is your 0. So price we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And demand 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay? So here you can see when price is 5. So when price is 5 here, price is 5, quantity demand is 10. Okay? So when price is 5, your quantity demand is 10. Okay? This one. Quantity demand is 10. This one. Fine? So when price is 4, so this is price 4. When price is 4, your quantity demand is 20. So this is 20. Fine? And when price will reduce to 3, ठीक है, price jump 5 से 4, 4 से अभी 3 हो रहा है. When price will reduce, demand is increasing. Okay, demand is increasing to 30. So when price is 3, demand is 30. And when price again reduced to, decreased to 2, and the demand has increased to 40. And when price has reduced to 1, quantity demand has reduced to 50. Fine? So now the demand curve is this one. When we are joining all this, we are getting the demand curve. So this is your DD, demand curve. As I'm not using scale, so it's going up and down, but demand curve is this one. It is sloping, right? It is sloping downward. Fine. So this is your demand curve all about. So a demand curve is the graphical representation of relationship between price and quantity demand. Okay? So demand curve, what demand curve shows? The relationship between your price and quantity demand of a commodity. Am I clear to you? Okay? So this is your law of demand all about. This is your law of demand all about. When price is decreasing, demand is increasing, and it will be vice versa. Fine? Am I clear to you? So demand curve is this one here. It is downward sloping. Clear? Okay. Now we'll see movement along the same demand curve. Movement along the same demand curve. So it implies a change in the demand for a commodity due to change in its own price. Okay? So यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं कि movement along the same demand curve. Movement along the same demand curve means, so this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Same demand curve. So demand curve is this one. It is moving maybe upward or it is moving maybe downward. Okay? So it implies this is called your movement along the same demand curve. Same demand curve is same, but it is moving this side or this side. So this is called, it implies a change in the demand for a commodity due to change in its own price. So price, commodity ka khud ka price, it is changing. So that's why demand curve is moving along. The movement is on the same demand curve. So how it is, I'll tell you. So that is called your, one is your expansion in demand and another one is called your contraction in demand. Okay, so movement along the same demand curve, expansion in demand. Okay, expansion in demand, expansion means increase. Expansion means increase. So what is expansion in demand? Expansion in demand means an increase in quantity demand as a result of fall in price. As a result of fall in price. It is shown by a downward movement on the same demand curve. Increase in demand because of its own price, but not because of other factors. Okay, because of its own price, but not because of other factors. Okay, so how is it, you see? Suppose this is price and this is quantity demand. Okay, so price earlier it was 5, so demand was 10. Price has reduced to suppose 3 and quantity demand has reduced to, increased to 30. Fine. So when we will plot this here, x and y, and this side your quantity demand and this side your price. Okay, so when price was 5 here, suppose this is 5. Okay, so quantity demand was 10, this one, right? So demand curve is this one. This is your demand curve. है कि नहीं? ये demand curve है कि नहीं यहाँ पे? है कि नहीं? And when price is reduced to 3, ये हो गया आपका 3. When price is reduced to 3, okay, ये हो गया आपका 10, 20, 30. Okay, so when price is reduced to 3, okay, your demand has increased. ठीक है, demand has increased, तो demand क्या हो गया आपका? ये हो गया. ठीक है, पहला डिमांड कर्व ये था. अभी डिमांड कर्व क्या हो रहा है? एंड दिस इज डिमांड कर्व इज गोइंग डाउन, नो? So demand curve is going down, downward sloping. It is going down. So it is here you can see this is moving along the same demand curve. Shift नहीं हो रहा है कहीं पे भी. आगे पीछे तो नहीं हो रहा है. Earlier it was this till here. Now when price is decreased and quantity demand has increased, the demand curve is going downward. Is it going downward? Downward? Fine. So you need to remember that in expansion in demand. Okay, you need to remember about expansion in demand. In expansion in demand, okay, so there is downward movement on the same demand curve. Downward movement हो रहा है, ठीक है? Downward movement on the same demand curve. And here the demand is increasing because of its price. Price नीचे आ रहा है इसीलिए demand decrease हो रहा है कि नहीं? Price नीचे आ रहा है इसीलिए demand आपका increase हो रहा है. Demand is increasing. That you remember. So here increase in demand because of its own price. So price is decreasing, so that's why demand is here increase. So that is your expansion in demand. So expansion in demand is related to its own price. आप खुद का जो price है, that is your expansion in demand. Am I clear to you? Clear or not? Clear? Okay. So now we'll move on to opposite. We'll move on to increase in demand now. Increase in demand में भी क्या हो रहा है आपका? Demand is increasing. Demand is increasing, but there is a difference between expansion in demand and increase in demand. There is a difference. What is the difference? Difference is like here, demand is increasing not because of its own price. Price is the same, but because of other factors. Because of other factors. Other factors can be maybe the consumer's income has increased. Price is the same. Okay. Suppose this is your P, this is QD. So price is 5, and here it is demand is 20, and price is 5. Demand has increased to 50. Okay? So price is the same. So when we will see this is X, this is Y, this side is your price, this side is your QD. So when this is 5, when price is 5, your quantity demand is suppose this one. $20, and this is the demand curve. Okay? And when price is 5, okay, your quantity demand is 50. तो ये डिमांड कर्व कैसा हो गया? यहाँ पे आ गया है कि नहीं? है कि नहीं? डिमांड कर्व की कैसे कहाँ पे चला गया? शिफ्ट कर गया. एक ही में है क्या? नहीं है. It is shifted towards right. It is shifted towards right. It is not along the same demand curve. So that is the difference. Have you understood the difference? So when there will be increase in demand because of other factors, but not due to its own price. Price तो वही है, 5 ही है, but demand has increased. Then the demand curve will shift. Okay? Demand curve will shift. Here, when there is increase in demand, the demand curve is shifting towards right side. तो decrease in demand में कहाँ पे होगा? कौन सा side में होगा? Left side. Okay? Have you all understood now difference between expansion in demand and increase in demand? Understood? So expansion in demand is like दोनों में, in both the case, increase in demand or expansion in demand, in both the case, quantity demand your will increase. In both the case, demand increase ही होगा. लेकिन expansion in demand में increase क्यों हो रहा है? क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि price नीचे गया. ठीक है? Because of its own price. लेकिन increase in demand में क्या हो रहा है? It is not because of its price. Okay? Demand यहाँ पे भी बढ़ रहा है, but not because of its price, because of other factors, right? Because of other factors, your demand is increasing. Fine? Am I clear to everyone? Clear? So, आपका expansion in demand में क्या हो रहा है? आपका demand curve is going downward along the same demand curve. Same आपका demand curve में ही ऐसे जा रहा है. Demand curve is going this way. Okay? Going this way, downward, right? एक ही demand curve में. लेकिन in increase in demand, the demand curve is shifted towards right. Right side में shift हो रहा है. So that's why rightward shift in demand curve. Understood or not? Understood? Any confusion? Any confusion? Okay. Now we'll see contraction in demand. Okay? So opposite to expansion in demand is contraction in demand. Contraction in demand मतलब demand को demand नीचे आना, demand कम हो जाना. Okay? Demand कम हो जाना, that is your contraction in demand, less. Okay? So demand is decreasing. So contraction in demand, it indicates decrease in quantity demanded, as a result of rise in price. Price बढ़ गया, इसीलिए आपका demand भी कम हो गया. Okay? So decrease in demand because of its own price, but not because of other factors. So it is shown by upward movement along the same demand curve. All this you need to remember, upward movement. Okay? So here, because of its own price, this is price, this is quantity demand. Okay? Okay? So here, as price is increasing, demand has decreased. You see here when we will plot this. So when price is 3 here, okay, demand is 50. ये हो गया आपका demand. Fine? And when price is 5, okay, ये हो गया आपका पुराना, ये हो गया demand curve. When price has increased to 5, demand has decreased to suppose 10. यही है आपका डिमांड कर्व, तो ऐसे ही जा रहा है. दिस वन इट इज गोइंग दिस वे, राइट, अपवर्ड मूवमेंट, अपवर्ड ऐसे जा रहा है डिमांड कर्व, है कि नहीं. सो इन केस ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इन डिमांड, दैट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर दैट कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इन डिमांड इज decrease in quantity demanded because of its own price, because of rise in price. And here it is shown by upward movement along the same demand curve. Fine? Clear? Clear? Understood? Okay. Now when we will see decrease in demand now. Okay? So decrease in demand, here also demand decreases, but this is not because of its own price. It is not because of its own price. It is because of various other factors like income of a consumer. So consumer का income कम हो गया, demand भी कम हो गया. ठीक है? ऐसा नहीं कि सामान का दाम बढ़ गया है. सामान का दाम वही है, लेकिन the persons, the consumers, income has decreased. So here it is shown by a downward shift in demand curve. So sorry, not downward, leftward. Okay? So it is shown by leftward shift in demand curve. Left side में आपका shift करेगा. Okay? So left side में आपका shift करेगा. ये पहले का ये demand curve है, फिर ऐसा demand curve will go this side. So you can see here when demand decreases because of various factors but not due to its own price, it is called decrease in demand. Am I clear to everyone now? Is it clear to everyone? Okay. So, so this increase in demand and decrease in demand, that is the case of your shift in demand curve. Demand curve is shifting. So this is your demand curve. If it is shifting rightward, then increase in demand. If it is shifting leftward, then this is decrease in demand. This is decrease in demand, this is increase in demand. Okay? So this is your DD demand curve. When it is shifting towards right, D1, D1, that means demand is, yes, increasing, increase in demand. Fine. And when it is shifting towards left, suppose D2, D2, then it is your decreasing, it is the case of decrease in demand. So this is your shift in demand curve. Demand curve shift हो रहा है right और left side में. ठीक है? Right side में left shift होने से that is your increase in demand. Left side में shift होने से that is your decrease in demand. So when there is change in demand, due to various factors but not due to its own price. Okay, so that is your shift in demand curve all about. Supriyo Gogoi, please mute yourself. And movement along the same demand curve. Here we have expansion in demand and contraction in demand all about. So it implies a change in the demand for a commodity due to change in its own price. Clear? It's clear to everyone now? Change in demand, it's clear to everyone. So one is expansion, another one is contraction. उसमें क्या होता है आपके प्राइस के वजह से या अलग फैक्टर्स के वजह से? प्राइस के वजह से. Okay. Or increase and decrease in demand, that is due to? Okay. Fine. Okay. Now we'll move on to the another topic, that is exceptions to the law of demand. So exceptions to the law of demand means where all it will not be applicable. Okay? Where all it will not be applicable. कहाँ कहाँ law of demand apply नहीं होगा. Okay? Law of demand क्या बोल रहा है? Law of demand is saying like price बढ़ने से demand will go down, right? And price कम हो जाने से demand will go up. Okay, so that is law of demand. Simple, but do you think everywhere law of demand will be applicable? No, right? Everywhere law of demand will not be applicable. So that is the point here, exceptions to the law of demand. इसका मतलब क्या है? Where all the law of demand will not work. The law of demand will not be applicable. Okay. The first one we'll see in case of your necessary goods, the necessity goods all about. Okay? The necessary goods like we can say medicine. Okay? One of the example is medicine. So in that case, even if the price of the medicine will go up or price of the medicine will increase, still people will go and buy because that is a necessary good. Right? Right or wrong? So there are many necessary goods in our life. So in case of necessary goods, even if the price will go up, people will go and buy. Right? So in case of necessary goods, law of demand will not be applicable. Fine? So that you need to remember. Then in case of your articles of distinctions, okay? So articles of distinctions like, there are some goods which are very extraordinary or distinctive goods, very unique good, or we can say the antique pieces. Okay? So there are some class of people, okay, who like to buy the articles of distinctions or maybe the antique pieces, even if the prices of all those goods are rare goods, we can say. All those goods are very high. Still people will buy. So in this case, your law of demand will not be applicable. Fine. And one more point, that is in case of your abnormal conditions. Abnormal conditions. So in our life, whenever we face any kind of abnormal situations, like in the year 2019-20, so we have faced the era, what? COVID-19. So that was the abnormal situation. Earthquake is abnormal, which is not normal. Earthquake, suddenly flood has come, right? So even if in these situations, in these abnormal situations, even if the prices of the goods will go up, we will go and buy. Why? Because we may think that tomorrow all these goods will not be available, right? All these goods will not be available. कल से rice नहीं मिलेगा, potato नहीं मिलेगा, सब्जी नहीं मिलेगा, ये नहीं मिलेगा. We will buy today. Even if the prices are skyrocketing, even if the prices are high, हम लोग को पता है कि अभी बहुत ज़्यादा charge कर रहे हैं, the prices बहुत ज़्यादा है, but still we'll go and buy. So that is abnormal conditions all about. So that is here in this case also law of demand is not applicable. Applicable हो रहा है क्या? नहीं हो रहा है, क्योंकि law of demand क्या बोल रहा है कि price कम होने से demand will increase. But in this situation, even if the price is more, we are still buying it, right? We are buying it. So that is one point all about abnormal conditions. Then another one is expectations regarding future price. Expectations regarding future price. Okay, so future में price क्या होगा? Okay, future में price क्या होगा? Now news has come that the price of gold will go up. Okay, price of gold will go up next month. What will you do? आज खरीद लेंगे, है कि नहीं? आज ही खरीद लेंगे. So that is the future expectation. आज नहीं, मतलब not today's price. It will go up in the next month. So expectations regarding future price. Okay. And when you know that now the price is less, okay, and you're expecting that tomorrow or maybe next month the price will go down, what will you do? You will wait. The price is like maybe today also less, but you have heard that it will go down tomorrow or it will go down after next month. What will you do? You will delay your purchase, right? You will wait for tomorrow, you will wait for next month, you will delay your purchase. So there in that case also a law of demand is not applicable. So when there is future expectation regarding your future price, expectation regarding future price, whether it will go up or down, you are expecting it will go up or down, okay? You are delaying your purchase or maybe you have preponed your purchase. आपको अभी खरीदना नहीं था, just because you have heard the news, खरीद लिया आज, है कि नहीं? और आज खरीदना था, just because you have heard the news, आपने क्या किया? You have delayed your purchase. So there also your law of demand is not applicable. Any doubt? Do you have any doubt? Doubt from the last class? Any doubt from PPC? Same, it is same. It is same. Expansion or extension, same है. Extension मतलब क्या? बढ़ना. Expansion is also बढ़ना. So expansion in demand or extension in demand is same. Fine? Okay. Okay, so last class we were talking about PPC. Okay, so PPC curve always slopes downward from left to right. It is concave to the origin because marginal rate of transformation MRT goes on increasing. Now, when we will talk about PPC, there is one point about shift of PPC. Okay, so this is your PPC. PPC may shift towards right or PPC may shift towards left. Suppose like this is your PPC all about AF is your PPC. Fine. So this is the PPC. So it may shift towards right. So when it will shift towards right, when PPC will shift towards right, rightward shift this one, right? And it has become suppose A1, F1. When it will shift towards right? When there will be growth of resources and technology, there will be updated technology. ठीक है? So when आपका resources ज़्यादा हो जाएगा या technology जब update हो जाएगा, when you're using high-tech machineries, then you will be able to produce more, right? Because what is PPC all about? PPC is what? क्या होता है यहाँ पे? Combination of two goods, okay, that can be produced with the given resources and technology. आपका पहले वाला PPC, this one is your PPC, AF. So this PPC may, it will shift towards right. When it will shift towards right? When there will be growth of resources, that is one, and when there is updated technology. Okay? So updated technology will use, then more goods can be produced. So then PPC will go towards rightward shift. Fine. And this may be also one question, when there will be growth of resources and updated technology. Okay, PPC will shift towards dash. So options will be given. So you will be writing what? Rightward, yes. And when there will be, when resources will be reduced and the technology will be outdated, then PPC will go towards, yes, left side. So PPC will be this way. So this is the earlier PPC. So it will go towards left side. Fine? So here, this is the case of your less use of resources. Less use of resources means your underutilization of resources. Underutilization. Okay? Underutilization of resources and underutilization of technology or outdated technology. Outdated technology. So when there will be outdated technology and underutilization of the resources, the PPC will go towards left. Okay? Clear? And when there will be growth of resources and technology is updated, the PPC will go towards right. Am I clear? Clear or not? Understood or not? Understood. So PPC is clear, no? Everybody's PPC is clear? कोई problem नहीं है PPC? So PPC is convex or concave in shape? Concave in shape, yes. PPC is downward sloping from? Yes. And in expansion in demand, the demand increases due to? Okay. In increase in demand, the demand increases due to? Other factors other than its price. Fine. So what is attainable combination? What is attainable combination? Which can be attained, yes. The combinations which are on PPC and inside PPC. An unattainable combination is like which is, yes, beyond, or we can say outside PPC. Fine. Fine then, that's all for today. You all also study substitute goods and complementary goods. Fine. What is it? What is the relationship between these two? Substitute goods and complementary goods, and how demand and price is related to all the substitute goods and complementary goods. Fine? Okay then, that's all for today. Thank you so much.